Hi, welcome to this hands-on session on SQL functions. Some of the functions that are used in SQL to search and replace strings are find and set, inststring, substring index, string comparison, and replace function. Now let's see how these functions actually work. I have opened MySQL Workbench as I'll be using MySQL. Most of these functions are same in MySQL and SQL, but please remember that some of these functions may have a different definition or number of parameters in a SQL server. The database that I'm going to use is pet data. It has a single table called owner data, and these are the columns present inside the owner data table. So we'll start looking at the searching and replacing function of SQL. We'll start with the function find and set, and for that I am going to use this query. Here I am applying the find and set function to a string which says 2, and I am going to search this string within this list of string. Here I have created a list of string that has 3 indices, or we can say 3 values. At 1 we have welcome, at position 2 we have 2, and at position 3 we have data nuts. So this find and set function is going to find this first parameter string within this second parameter list of strings, and then it is going to return us the position if it is present in this list of strings. Let's execute it and see that it has returned us 2. This means that this string is present at the second position in the list of strings. Now let's see how this function works on a table column. And for that I am going to use this query. Here I am using the find and set function, and I am finding the table column stateful, and the list of strings contains Michigan, Texas, Ohio, and California. So the find and set function is going to find each row's state name within this list, and if it is present in the list then it is going to return the position. Let's execute the query to see the result, and you can see that for all the states it has given us the position number which were present in the list, and for those states which were not present in the list it has returned me 0. Okay, now let's move towards the second function, which is the inststring function. And for that I am going to use this query. Here I am using the inststring function on a string which says welcome to data nuts, and I am going to find the character E. So this function is going to display me the first occurrence or the first index where this string appears. Okay, let's execute the query, and it has given me position 2. This means that here starting from the left hand side 1 and 2, here the first occurrence of E happened, so it has returned me the position 2. Although the E occurred many times within the string, but this function returns us the first occurrence of the given string. Now let's use it on a table column, and for that I am going to use this query. Here I am displaying the full form of state, and I am using the inststring function on the full form of state as well, and I am going to find the occurrence of hi within this state. So all the states having this string which is hi, then the position of where this string is present will be displayed, and for all the states where this substring is not present it is going to return us 0. Let's execute the query, and you can see that for the first state, which is Ohio, H and I are present, so it has returned us the position 2. Okay, then in California the substring HI was not present, it has returned us 0. Same goes for Texas. And then for Michigan you can see that once again at the position 4 it has HI combination and it has returned us 4, and so on for all the strings. Now let's move towards the next function, which is the substring index function, and for that I am going to use this query. Here I am using the substring index function on a string which says www.datanerds.io, and the delimiter that I am going to use is the full stop, and I am going to extract the substring up to 2 occurrences of this delimiter. Okay, so the first occurrence of this delimiter is here and the second occurrence of this delimiter is here. So I have defined here 2, so it is going to return me all the string before the second occurrence of the delimiter. Let's execute the query to verify the result, and you can see that it has returned me www.datanerds, which is the part of the string that occurred before the second occurrence of the delimiter. Now let's test it on a table column as well, and for that I am going to use this query. Here I am using the concatenate with symbol function to concatenate the first name, middle name as last name as a full name, and then I am using the substring index function on this concatenated column containing the first name, middle name and last name joined by a hyphen, and in this scenario the delimiter is going to be the hyphen and the number of occurrence of delimiter is set to 2. So this substring index function is going to return me the part of the full name up to 2 occurrences of this hyphen. Okay, let's execute the query to see the result, and you can see that for the first row the full name was Debbie M. Metiver. Here was the first occurrence of the hyphen, and then here was the second occurrence of the hyphen. So it has returned me all the string that was before the second occurrence of the hyphen, and same goes for all other rows as well. Let's move towards the next function, which is the string comparison function. And for that I am going to use this query. Here I am going to compare two strings using this function. The string 1 is welcome to data nerds and the string 2 is data nerds. As I have already discussed, this function will return me 0 if the string 1 is same as or equal to the string 2. It is going to return me 1 if string 1 is greater than string 2, and it is going to return me -1 if string 1 is smaller than or less than string 2. Let's execute the query to see the result, and you can see that it has returned us 1, which means that the string 1 is larger than or longer than string 2. Let's use this query on a table column as well, and for that I am going to use this query. Here I am selecting the full form of state and I am comparing the full form of state with the string which says Michigan. So this function is going to return me 0 if any of the state is equal to Michigan. It is going to return me 1 if the state name is longer than Michigan, and it is going to return me -1 if the state name is smaller than Michigan. Let's execute the query to see the result. And you can see that for the first state, which was Ohio, it gives the result 1 because Ohio is less than stateful, and similarly it has given us -1 and 0 for other states. Now let's move towards our last function, which is the replace function in string, and for that I am going to use this query. Here I am using the replace function to replace this original string which says welcome to website, and from this string the substring that I want to replace is website, and the string with which I want to replace it is data nerds. So the replace function takes 3 parameters. First is the original string, second is the string to replace, and third is the string to be replaced with. So this replace function is going to replace this substring from the original string with this particular substring. Let's execute the query, and you will see that it has replaced website with a new word which is data nerds. Now let's use this function on a table column as well, and for that I am going to use this query. Here I am selecting street address and I am using the replace function where the original string is the street address, and from that I want to replace Harvard Street with Hogwarts Street. So whenever within the street address there is Howard Street, it is going to replace it with Hogwarts Street. Okay, let's execute the query to see the result, and in the output you can see that these two street address at the Howard Street, and the replace function has replaced Howard Street to Hogwarts Street. Okay, so this is how you can use different string functions to search and replace strings. That is all for this video. Thank you.